Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Oh, there we go. Can you guys hear me? Oh, there we go. Now we got audio. Can you guys hear me? Oh, there we go. Now we got audio. Can you guys hear me? Oh, there we go. My audio feedback sucks. My audio feedback sucks. Wave high. Wave high. Okay, I'm gonna log off on that one. All right, guys. My audio should be good for all of you now that are complaining last time. Your audio sucked. I'm sorry. My audio I don't know what the fuck happened to my audio. My audio decided to have a malfunction, and my computer decided to have a brain fart. Okay, so I'm sorry. It was not my fault. It was not me. I'm sorry. So, I'm sorry. Blue collar, what's up, buddy? Blue collar, how you doing, bud? I am going to add you as moderator since you are here. You're welcome. You are very much welcome, bud. So, yeah, we're gonna do just a little bit of live. I don't know how long I'm gonna be on here for tonight. I don't know if I want to be on here for an hour or so. I don't want to be on here for like a half an hour. I'm just gonna be on here, and if people just kind of mosey on in here, then that's cool. Whatever. I'll let people kind of mosey in on here and whatnot. I'm gonna do my last dip of the evening. But like I said, if you guys happen to mosey in later at a later time, then that's cool. Thank you for stopping by later. Southern Blue Collar Man, I saw a lot of your comments on my videos. I appreciate you, buddy. Um, Much appreciated, much obliged for all your comments and all your likes. Much appreciated. Thank you, sir. I take it you are a blue collar man, so I appreciate that. Holy shit, I'm out of dip. Well, that's okay because that'll be a good enough pinch for tonight. We will call this our nightcap pinch. So we will do our nightcap pinch. So hope y'all are doing good. I can see my green bar moving down below, so y'all can hear me scream. I love you all. And if y'all didn't hear that, I love you. not gonna do that to y'all. That's really kind of fucked up. You're all gonna be like, wait, that was audio really fucked up. Or it's my phone or my device. Our device is fucked up. So, cheers. I won't do that to you guys. I'm kind of fucked up, though. I didn't really mean to do that. But that's kind of funny. So, for all you that will kind of mosey in on later, I do appreciate y'all that have liked, comment, shared, and subscribed to this channel. I appreciate y'all. And to people that told me before my audio didn't work, I appreciate that. That is why I deleted that last live stream. Because I didn't want that live stream up there. Because obviously, if the live stream audio was not functioning, I didn't want to look like a dumbass and leave it up and you trying to figure out, well, what the fuck is he trying to say? So that's why I took it down. So I'm doing this one now. So for my apologies, sincere, humble apologies that I fucked up. This is why they call me a techie, because because sometimes you gotta be a techie and you gotta be able to fix things, and I was able to do it. So, damn techie, I was able to suffice this time. So, let's talk about the State of the Union. Let's dig into the State of the Union. Because, yeah, I'm sure people are going to wonder, well, conservative, what is your opinion on State of the Union? And I know a lot of people are probably wondering what is my opinion on State of the Union. And on the whole thing of the State of the Union speech. So I'm just going to tell you like it is. I think Trump did an absolute beautiful job. I think, honestly, Trump did not only a good job, but I think it was funny as shit because watching Ilhan Omar get pissed off, watching all the Democrats acting like a bunch of man children, or like a bunch of grown adults throwing temper tantrums like a big baby, was funny for me to watch. And there was a lot of things I think Trump did say that I believe is really good. That I see a lot of progress that Trump is moving forward in our country. And Trump is trying to move our country forward more and more and more and more. And he's trying to make progress with our country and not go backwards. Now, do I see Trump doing all of this in a year? No. I see Trump doing this little by little by little by little by little. This is just minor progress. And because a lot of this is going to take time. because the Democrats really effed up America. They literally screwed America up between Obama and Biden. We really have a lot of work to do. And we have progress that we are trying to work on. And I see the progress being made. Promise made, promise kept from Trump. Trump is keeping his promises, and that is all we can expect from him. And right now, as we go on for, like midterms and stuff, I can expect a lot of more progress with Trump, with migration, like the immigrations, not migration, the immigration policies really hitting harder, dealing with a lot more of hopefully the lefties, these intolerant, alleged terrorist lefties, leftards, getting them to settle the hell down, or putting them in jail, because they really need to stop what the hell they're doing, because they are getting way too out of control. They're getting way too radical, and they need to be dealt with. And I'm sure Trump already knows about that, and I'm sure Trump's already paying way much attention and seeing that, so we don't have to remind him or email him about that. I'm sure he knows about it. But Mr. President, if you do see this, please deal with them. Please. But he's got a lot on his plate, and I see that we can make progress, but it's just going to take a long time. And I think with what Trump mainly said at the State of the Union, he really did rally up a lot of the Republicans and get them kind of excited, which was good. He did get them excited because of the progress, which was really exciting to see. The Republicans kind of backing him, and it was good to see the Republicans not sitting there doing nothing and feeling all like, okay, we're not really happy with Trump. They're starting to feel like there's hope, and there's a lot of progress, and there's a lot of momentum growing. So it was good to see the Republicans finally feeling that energy, that little bit of spark and that fire underneath their butt, which I loved. I loved seeing that in the Republican Party. That was really good to see the Republicans finally feeling it, that energy in the State of the Union address. I love that. The one thing that I really did love seeing was Ilhan Omar getting pissed. Again, let's go back to that, because when the camera went directly to Ilhan, you can see her sitting there like this with her arms crossed, or times where she was going, it was absolutely disgusting. It was just almost like, what the hell are you doing, Ilhan? What are you yelling? Just shut up. Nobody cares about what you're saying. Just shut up. Either you're going to sit there, be a good little Democrat bot and shut up like the rest of them and boo his like the rest of your little brain rotted zombie Democrat constituents because nobody wants to hear what you got to say. And thank God we didn't really have to hear what she said because I don't think any of us really heard what she said. But it was just absolutely ridiculous watching and having to see her and having the camera pan over to her. I don't know what the hell was going on with her. She was either pissed because her husband either didn't love her enough that day, or I don't know, or she just apparently something was going on. She was just having a really off day, apparently. And she was just so pissed that she decided to yell at Trump, which is fine because this again proves why, when it comes to Ilhan Omar, her constituents are going to lose. And people like her are making her Democrat constituents lose because of people like her throwing temper tantrums during the State of the Union address. This is kind of like watching alleged Nancy Pelosi and her alleged drunk temper tantrum ripping up the State of the Union address after the State of the Union address, throwing the papers up in the air. This is kind of basically like what Ilhan Omar did, but only different. She was just throwing a little baby temper tantrum, which was very cute and pretty much worth nothing to us. It just proved that Ilhan Omar obviously is irrelevant to us, and it showed how much she really doesn't mean anything to us and her party obviously doesn't mean anything to her because she's making her party look stupid by doing the stupid shit she's doing, which is funny. But Trump didn't let it get to him. That was the best part about it. Trump maintained his composure. He stayed focused on what needed to be said and what needed to be done, which was address the rest of the people that were there and let everyone know this is what's going on. This is what we need to do. We're going to do it, which I think Trump absolutely nailed it. There was another thing that I did want to mention that I do have a feeling of why I think Trump didn't mention ICE. Now, this is just my guess. One is because we know ICE is kind of a big topic right now going on, and ICE is a big issue. And so, that being said, ICE obviously gets a lot of shit and a lot of hate towards them and a lot of bad shit thrown towards them because of who they are. So I think Trump didn't do it because he knew that ICE didn't need that anymore or doesn't need that. And ICE just needs to continue to do their job. And they need to continue not only to do their job, but not be disrupted by the radical left. And the radical left needs to leave them the fuck alone. And so, in order to do that, he just basically decided that he's going to be doing it in a very 4D chess way by not mentioning it, but he's going to talk about the immigration policy without using ICE, which was very smooth. And I think that was a very, very nice way of Trump doing it. And I think also that Trump's staff probably told him, sir, we probably don't really need to have more issues with right now with the amount of Democrats right now that are going to be booing and hissing possibly at you. We really do not need more problems in here. So let's just go with what we have in the speech and try not to piss off as too many people as we can, and not mention ICE and mention things that will piss off too many people. Let's just stay with the subject that we have here and go through the list here that we have for you, and wham bam, thank you ma'am, get you in and out and call it good, and get you your Diet Coke or whatever you allegedly have before bedtime, and off to bed you go. And I think that should be good. I think that's possibly what happened. So that's my whole entire guess, but I could be wrong. That could be my whole entire guess, but whatever. But going back into the whole the other things too that I was talking about, um, I'm a little pissed off with the women's team of the Olympics, because I think the women's Olympic team, honestly, was doing a little virtual signaling, and they were trying to play politics, and they were doing what they were doing by feeding into the media and listening to what the media said about Trump and believing in the alleged lies and bullcrap about Trump. And that's kind of why they didn't really want to go visit Trump. And that's why the men's team just decided, fuck it, we'll go see Trump. And I mean, that's whatever. In my opinion, it's whatever to really honestly have them do that. It kind of is a little disrespectful, but it's okay, even though they don't like him. But at the same time, we do have to kind of remember that a lot of the shit that is being said about Trump and the alleged lies about him and the alleged women issue with him and alleged women is a bunch of horse hockey, because no alleged victim has come out and said anything about Trump so far, and said or purportedly acknowledged Trump for doing any alleged thing against them. So the media is just basically doing what they do, which is creating fabricated lies and false narratives and defacement against Trump, because that's what they do. They spin the story to make Trump look bad when Trump honestly isn't that bad of a person. And we can honestly say that the left, you can hear a lot of these YouTube left leaning bros, if you want to call them that, or these left leaning YouTubers that claim they're not left leaning or right leaning, they're middle, like some other YouTuber. I'm not gonna say his name, but you know who I'm talking about. The one that I used to call out a lot. That guy. I used to pick on that dude a lot. But that kind of dude, that guy, we'll just call him that guy. He claims he cares about women, but he's misogynistic. And we all know the left is very misogynistic and they hate women because we've seen how, for example, when it comes to like a athlete that has lost against a transgender who is an actual male that is a dude trying to pretend or dress up as a woman that competed in a women's sport, won in a women's sport, who shouldn't have won or competed in a women's sport in general, won, but should, pardon me, should have been disqualified, period. It should have been no ifs, ands, or buts. It should have been a wham bam, thank you, ma'am deal. Get that mother trucker out of there. He should have been gone. But the people that are these pretend people that are claiming, well, we are all for women's rights, like the dude we all know that I used to pick on all the time, but we're not going to say his name, claims he's all for women's rights. That kind of dude claims that, well, bravo to the women's Olympic team for standing up. It shows how much people like me stand up for women's rights and us people that do stand up for women's rights. Yeah, shut up. Nobody believes that you stand up for women's rights. Nobody believes that anybody on the left stand up for women's rights. Not one single iota. We all know that anybody that will say that on the left or that are definitely going to stand against Trump are not for women's rights. We know that. You're against women's rights. Because if you're going to go and say that the woman who lost against a transgender is a alleged loser and start harping on her and her platform and start allegedly attacking her and her base for losing, that doesn't show that you're for women's rights. That shows you're misogynistic and that you pretty much are a misogynistic pig and that you are basically pretending to be virtuous and that you claim to be for women's rights. But in actuality, the only alleged women's rights you are for is for allegedly allowing women to allegedly kill unborn babies. That's the only alleged women's rights you are for. At that point, you might as well just say the honest to God truth and say the quiet part out loud. Because nobody's going to really believe you. And nobody cares at that point. Because the quiet part does not need to be kept inside anymore. We understand that everyone on the left and everyone that, like the dude that I used to pick on or give shit to, I'm not going to mention the name, but the dude, we'll call him the dude again, claims again that he was allegedly for women's rights, which we all know he's not because he's a misogynistic prick, an alleged misogynistic prick, saying all the shit he says about women and how he attacked, like the way he allegedly attacked and went after Lincoln Riley and attacked women and even white Christian women and just basically even that woman who lost against the transgender woman. Yeah, you think that's really considered caring for women? No. That's you attacking women. Caring for women is like, well, gee, okay, the person that you lost against is a dude. So yeah, we're pretty pissed right now. Let's stand up together and have a cow about this, or be pissed that Lincoln Riley's deceased because of what happened to her, or let's care about the alleged women's rights that are not being talked about here, or that really need to be talked about. Yeah, on and on and on. And all these things that these people that claim, like the alleged dude is pretending he's trying to talk about, but he ain't talking really about it, wants to pretend he's talking about. These people that are saying the same thing and cheering these women's Olympic team on for not going to see Trump are the same kind of people that you see sitting there saying the same stupid shit about Trump because they're misogynistic and they're against Trump. They hate Trump because they have no reason to. They don't know why they hate Trump. You can ask them what is a woman. They can't even define the word definition of a woman. They would say a woman is basically a gender concept or a social construct, which it's not really a social construct at all. It's the anatomy or DNA that God created you, the way that God created you. God created you to have female anatomy and female DNA, then you are a female. There you go. Simple as that. You can't argue with that. There's only two genders. These people on the left do not know what male and female are. They are so socially confused. But they are pissed at us because we support a president who knows what a male and female is, who knows that we have an issue with illegal aliens who are allegedly raping, murdering, and killing innocent people. Yes, I'm not saying that every single person that is here that is Latino or whatever is the one doing it, but more often than not, what the news is not telling you is this is what happens, and this is what's happening, and this is what the news will not tell you. Is this is what is being done by illegal immigrants, the ones that are bad. They are allegedly raping, murdering, and killing people. And the radical left just want to yell, scream, and cry and say, oh, the MAGA are the racists. They hate brown people. They just don't like the brown people because allegedly the brown people are picking their avocados. No, that's not our issue. It's because they're either allegedly here illegally or they're allegedly here doing bad things, or because allegedly they're both doing things both. And they want to call us racist. And that's the other thing too that I want to get into. That other social construct of the word racist. Because the radical left love to call us racist. And I've said this 1,000 times, and I will say this 1,000,000 more times again. The word racist is pretty much lost its meaning to us. It does not have its meaning anymore. The meaning racist does not mean shit to us conservatives or to us MAGA supporters. If you call us a racist, we're going to laugh at you and think you are completely fucking stupid. Because, one, we've heard it 1,000 times. Oh, you must be a 3-tooth trailer trash that inbroods with your sister. We've heard that same shit too, by the way. Just to remind you, people on the left, we've heard that same shit too, by the way. And that's the same shit that means racist. Basically, you're being stupid. So everyone on the left comes up with stupid names for us. We've heard it all from the left. And the left love to call us names. Like, we haven't heard all of the names the left have called us. But the word racist, when they use that word towards us, they think that it's going to hurt us. It's going to affect us. And they think that calling us racist because we want illegal immigrants or immigrants that are allegedly raping, murdering, and killing U.S. citizens out of our country is what needs to be done. But to them, it's racist. It's racist, but it's not racist to us. I don't know what kind of construct that is to them, but it's stupid. It's a stupid part of their way of thinking. I don't know why they think that way, but I don't get it. Their brain obviously is not fully developed. They must have not fully developed as a child to understand that we need to protect America. America needs to have boundaries, just like everyone has personal boundaries. There are rules that are implemented here. And, well, if you want me to be honest, if you want these people that are allegedly here illegally and allegedly raping, allegedly murdering, allegedly child trafficking, allegedly drug trafficking, here, put them in your home. Have fun. Just be careful is all I'm going to tell you. Go ahead and allegedly put them in your home if you're a Democrat. House them. I don't give a shit. But please, I will pray for you and your family. But we do not want them. Because that is the last thing we want to deal with. We are tired of this shit. If you are willing to take money out of your own pockets and willing to feed and do whatever for them, then God bless your soul. God bless your little hearts. You are a saint. But I wouldn't. I wouldn't do that. Not for those people. For the ones that are good people, yes. Not for the bad ones. The bad ones need to go. But it's crazy. It's crazy. It's really, really crazy. And I feel bad, don't get me wrong, for the innocent family. I do have a lot of empathy and sympathy for the ones that are trying to make a name for themselves. But the bad ones are just doing too many bad things, and it's a real bad problem. And we need to deal with it. And we need to come to the realization that when we have a situation that is with too many bad apples doing too many bad things that are rotten, and it's going to make all the rest of the apples in the basket rotten, we need to get rid of them and start over and keep the good apples before the rest of the bad apples get rotten. And the left don't want to hear it. They're like, la, 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 la. That's stupid. That's a bad way to think about it. I guess if you want to think about it that way, go for it. So, two people watching. How y'all doing tonight? Me. Can you all hear me okay? Give me a thumbs up or give me a yeah if you can hear me okay. Please. I'll be right back. I gotta open my window. I'm hot as shit in here. I am baking like a fucking. I was gonna say something, but I don't want to say it. Never mind. I'll say I'm baking like a damn oven. But anyway, yeah, it's crazy. Yes, I'm sitting on a blanket, okay? Don't judge. I do have to sit on a blanket because my seat is uncomfortable. So, yeah. So it's really disturbing how the radical left are. And their process of thinking, it just makes me wonder, like, will they ever wake up? And somebody actually asked me that question, conservative, do you ever think that the radical left will ever wake up before it's ever too late? I think there are some people that are waking up, but sadly, the ones that are too far gone are not going to wake up. They're going to stay in that cycle and that pattern, that way that they are, and they won't change. I don't think they'll ever change. They won't ever become any different. I think it will be the way that it will be for them for the rest of their life. I hope and pray that they change. I mean, I look. I'll show you guys something. I read the Bible, right? This is my Bible that I read. I'm not a really good Christian. I try to read the Bible. I try to follow the Bible as best as I can, to my best ability. I do the best I can. Now, I do try to pray for people. That is what I do. Do I feel like me praying for them continuously is a effortless hope or effortless thing? No. Why? Because to me, I feel like continuously praying for these people is kind of like how when Moses continued to ask Pharaoh to let his people go. At some point, God will probably either go into their hearts, hopefully, and show them what they really need to know, that this is what they have been doing is wrong, and their way of thinking is not correct, and the way that they've been treating people is incorrect. And I think that God's love and mercy upon them will have an effect. It could have an effect on them. It could have an effect on, definitely, if they allow God into their heart. That's all up to them. But I do feel bad, and I do pity them. I do feel like these people are sick. They are very sick. They are very sick people that don't understand that they are sick. They don't understand, or they may understand that they're sick, but they just don't care. And they don't want to care. And they would rather get other people sick. They would rather do what they do because they think it's all fun and games. And we know it's not fun and games because this is people's livelihood. This is America. They think that they're fighting for a good cause. And we think we're fighting for a good cause. So you got two sides. One fighting for democracy, one fighting for democracy, the other fighting for the Constitution. I can agree that, sure, both sides should have the ability to say that they could believe in what they want because it's America. But there's a price. There's a price that we have to pay. And that is, what do we want? And what are we willing to sacrifice? If, for instance, if we wanted a state of democracy, then that means we would have to give up the Constitution. We would have to give up everything that we have now that our forefathers worked for. And we basically then would have to say, okay, now let's go into socialism. And then everyone would then have to either agree to it, or they could just do it and we wouldn't have to agree to it. And then that would be the be all end all of things. And that's just how socialism would begin. And that would be it for us. And we would have no more rights, no more of anything. We would only have one religion, or we would have no religion at all. We would have nothing. We'd have only certain rules. Pardon me. There would be certain things that would be implemented in the rules and laws of the land. And I'm sure everybody wouldn't enjoy it. I wouldn't, for sure. But when it comes down to when we decide, or what we decide here, what are we willing to do? And what do we want? And a lot of we, the people, have come together as a collective, and we have said, we do not want a democracy. We do not want socialism. We want a capitalistic, constitutionalist state. And we want to remain that way forever. Our country should remain this way forever. Y'all thought I was going to do the dab, which was kind of funny, because it looked like I was about to do it. And I did it once. Anyway, this is what we wanted. We and our forefathers, or our forefathers, fought for this. A constitutionalist state, not a socialist society. So, if that being true, then why are they fighting for a socialistic society? Why do they want socialism? Why do they hate capitalism so much? Why do they hate our country so much? I'll tell you. And it's gonna, pardon my hairdo, by the way. It's gonna burn you all. It's gonna make you all very, very pissed. You know why they hate our country? Because they believe, allegedly, that the only time this country was great was only, or the only thing that made this country great was only for white people, young white people. That's what they believe was for white people, which is not true. Sure, black people, women, sure, had a lot to fight for way back when. Yes, we had slavery. Yes, we had the Trail of Tears. Yes, we had Asian camps. Yes, we had the Auschwitz camp in Germany and the Holocaust. Yes, we had a whole bunch of bad shit happening. That does not mean that what happened way back when should be pushing us today to be for what happened back then, for us today to be punished for what happened back then. That back then does not mean now. We don't have slavery in America today. All lives today matter. If you're black, I love you, but I do not agree with Black Lives Matter. If you're white, I love you, but I do not agree with white supremacy. Because all lives should matter. That's what people should start saying, is all lives should matter. And that, yes, what happened 100 years ago or more should not mean that white people need to suffer, or white people do not need to feel uncomfortable, and white people do not need to talk about fake white privilege, a white vigility, anti-whiteism topic that is basically blaming white people and being anti-whiteism and hate towards white people. We don't need that kind of shit today. But this is what the radical left wants. This is what people like, you know who allegedly is still going on about on his YouTube channel, and what he was allegedly talking about on his YouTube channel a lot when we were going against him. This is what a lot of these radical lefts are saying and pointing towards, because they don't like this. They don't like traditional Christian family values. They think it's all about allegedly white, white, white. But it doesn't have to do with white, white, white. You can be a white person married to a black woman. You could be a black man married to a white woman and have traditional Christian values and still believe in God and still believe in our country and still love not only our country, but still believe that, sure, all lives matter, and believe that what matters the most is that we treat everyone equally, and that what the radical left is doing is very evil towards everybody, and that what the radical left is doing is not right in how they treat people, and what they say towards people is not correct, and what they are doing needs to be stopped. I'll be right back. I'm going to get a glass of water. Okay, sorry. I had to get a glass of water. Anyway, what I'm talking about is it should not matter about the skin color. What should matter is that you love thy neighbor. The radical left, the certain people, like the one person we know, who we're not going to mention his name, does not love anyone but thyself. He or they are selfish. The left are very self centered, arrogant. You can, for instance, smash a bug, right? And when you smash that bug, what are you doing? You're killing the bug, right? Well, let's say that bug didn't hurt you, or that bug is not poisonous or dangerous. Why kill the bug? Why not release the bug, right? See, it's simple. What we need to do is we don't, in our mind as Christian conservatives, we don't hurt people. What we do is we use what, there's a phrase that my grandma always used, and I'm going to metaphorical phrase it, metaphorically kill them with kindness. And that's what we should do with people, is metaphorically kill them with kindness. As Christians, we should metaphorically kill them with kindness. But when Jesus was talking about, um, if somebody slaps you, give them the other cheek, that was metaphor. That was allegedly, supposedly metaphorical, or was it? Who knows? Probably not. I don't think it was, because what was Jesus about? Kindness, compassion. He wouldn't hit back. Well, we've been so kind to the left that we've taken a lot of the abuse. But what have they done to us? They have been mean to us. They have literally, verbally, or allegedly physically abused us. And we've taken it. And we've taken it time and time again. Over and over and over again. You know why? Because we're not that kind of people. We will only defend ourselves legally when we have to. Legally. That's the only time we will defend ourselves, is legally when we have to. Yes, we know that the left know how to use things. And I'm going to say it that way. We know the left know how to do things as well. But that does not give them a right to do things. And they don't need to do it. They need to stop doing it. And this is what I'm talking about. It's over. Can't tell if that fireworks or gunshots. They need to stop hurting people. But the problem is they don't care. They don't care anymore. The problem is that they don't care how judgmental they are. They don't care what happens anymore. All they care about is them. And it's scary. It's very, very scary. Because it's dangerous. This is what fucking happens when you start losing your mind. When you start becoming brainwashed, you start becoming very, very demonic, very evil. And you don't care no more about the consequences. And this is what happened to them. They don't know the word consequences. Consequences to them mean nothing. If they get arrested, let's say they do. Shoot. Let's say they do allegedly get arrested. Sure, they will scream, whine, wail, moan. Don't take me to jail. Don't take me to jail. I didn't do anything. They'll do it because they're going to play victim. But they want to pretend that we play victim, which we don't. Because Schadenfreude, the German word that means they take pleasure in watching others suffer. That is what the radical left love to do. Schadenfreude. Look it up, ladies and gentlemen. Schadenfreude. Schadenfreude describes these evil, demonic people on the left perfectly. Schadenfreude. They're evil. They're vindictive. They're nasty. They're vile. They're demonic. They're evil. Because they rather watch other people suffer. And they would rather let other people suffer because it brings to them pleasure. Which is disgusting, honestly. It is very. It makes me nauseated. It absolutely brings me nauseation pain. Now, I want to bring up a story. I found this. This is a not Norwegian, a Norse pagan symbol. Yes, I'm a Christian. I have this. I know. I may go to hell for this, but I want to tell you a story about this. Because somebody gave this to me. Somebody very special. I'm not going to say the person's name. They may or may not be watching me right now. But this person told me about paganism and how paganism is about a community that helps people, brings people together, not hurt people. Right? Well, you see a lot of people in different communities and different beliefs and different religions and different, whatever, right? That come together. I know pagans, because I know quite a few pagans, by the way, that are more tolerant than these Democrats. I feel like, in my opinion, the pagans I know are way, way, way more nicer than these Democrats and more accepting than these Democrats. They don't even have a problem as long as you just stay in your own lane and you don't do anything to cause problems. As long as you behave and you stay not only in your lane of, just do what you got to do, believe in what you believe in, but you make sure that you don't hurt anyone and you don't cause anyone to suffer. Now, I'm a Christian, right? And I know that's kind of weird to hear me say this or say that, but I'm going to say it. And I had to say it because I know people that are pagan that are way more Christian, or that are not Christian, but more accepting. Because it's true. Because the radical left want you to believe that they are tolerant. Because their viewpoint, their pretend views of tolerant is pretend. It's made up. It is not true. It's a lie. It's all based on Melonia's fake bullshit claims. Now, where do I get this? You're probably wondering, conservative, yeah, where the fuck do you get this? I've seen and I've interacted with a lot of people in my times that are on the left, from TikTok, from YouTube, all over, even in real life. They're pretty nasty, and it's very sad. It is very, very sad because the people that claim they want you to allegedly accept them, or they virtue signal towards a certain community, whether it's the LGBTQIA or the black community or the flying spaghetti monster community or the tomato soup community or whatever community. I don't, and by the way, they don't have a tomato soup or flying spaghetti monster community. Not yet, but Lord knows. I'm not going to give them ideas. Okay? We're not going to give them ideas yet. I'm not going to give them any ideas. We're going to do a great thing. Sorry. Anyway, I had to. Anyway, we know that they are so intolerant. And that's the saddest part, is that they don't have to tell us how intolerant they are. We can see it with our own eyes. We can see how people are subjected to this. And it's wrong. It's so wrong. Well, what's crazy about it is, I guess you're probably wondering, what do we do? And my friends, you would be asking a very good question. What do we do? Because honestly, pray. That's all you can do. Pray, meditate, whatever you do or believe in for them. Do whatever you can for them. Please. Because these people need literally actual spiritual guidance. Because right now, they literally are lost. Not just within themselves, spiritually, but mentally. And mentally, they are lost because of the propaganda that is being pulled out. And that's also another thing that we have to do, is we got to continue to have people like me, Tucker Carlson, Mark Dice, Tim from Conservative Newswave. We got to have people like Benny Johnson, Tim Pool, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, more people like Charlie, speaking truth and continuing to expose the radical left media and calling that shit out and saying, no, that is wrong. Don't believe that. and helping the people that are falling for that trap, pull them out of it and saying, no, come here, look, we can help you. If you want us to help you, we can give you guidance. We're not going to brainwash you and tell you that you're 100% wrong, but we're going to give you tools and we're going to give you the tutelage to show you different sources that will show you different things that you can read, and you can make up your own mind, and you can choose which way you want to go, and whichever way you go, bless your little heart. But at the same time, and I know I did the Trump thing again. I'm sorry, I always do that. But at the same time, whichever way you want to go, we have given you a bunch of different sources that hopefully you will read and look at and say, here, here, and here. Okay. Okay. This makes sense. Okay. This doesn't make sense. And ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Start a conversation, because that's the whole point of this, is to have a conversation. Because this is what we need to do, is have a conversation. Not use physical violence, but have these conversations. Strike up these conversations so that people can be more aware and more confident in going in public and saying, hey, did you read about this? Oh, no, I didn't. What about it? And not being afraid to say things about it, and people calling them a racist for it, or saying things to them about it because they have a different opinion. People shouldn't be afraid of having a different opinion. I mean, it's cool to have a different opinion, right? That's what makes us unique. I think that's why we're special. That's why God created us in His image, because we're unique. God created us to be who we are. We're unique. No, God did not create gay people, but God created man and woman to be who they are, because they are special. But God created us to think for, ourselves, and be able to use our brain and enjoy thinking and being able to find information. Oh, well, a woman president would be interesting, but would really having a woman president like Kamala Harris be beneficial to our country? Why or why not? Okay. Well, I don't think it would, because, well, for one, not because Kamala's a woman, or because she's allegedly 1% black, but because she's not really qualified as a person to run for president. Her political policies suck, and she doesn't really have any good political ideas. She's just terrible. She's she has a degree in at some point in being a lawyer. Whoop de freaking do. Great. So she knows a little bit about law degree. Okay, cool. But does that really constitute her knowing enough to be our president of the United States of America? Enough? for me, that doesn't really constitute her knowing enough. Not in my opinion. Not for me. But I'll tell you this. Because when it comes to the radical left have no idea how to counteract with arguments when it comes to logical thinking. They think, well, the MAGA supporters don't like Kamala. I almost called Kamala Hillary. Kamala because she's black and she allegedly should be out there picking cotton because, hey, of course, MAGA's racist, right? They're only two-toothed cousin fucking inbreds. No. That's not why we don't like Kamala. That's not the reason why we don't like Kamala. We have our reasons. And the left don't understand. We know how to use logic. The left don't know how to use logic, facts. They only use feelings. That's the worst part about this. And that's what I really hate to say about the left. I mean, I don't want to say that about the left, but they really don't. They only know how to use feelings when it comes down to it. The other thing that I might end it here with you guys, unless you guys start chatting with me or asking questions. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask me in the comments, please. I will try to read your comments while I'm talking. Go ahead. Is that when it comes to the Democrat Party or the radical left, I've noticed a lot with their behavior when it comes to how they love to scream at, or not scream. See, I'm getting tired. They just love to play victim, and they love to pretend that we love to play victim. They love to claim that we play the victim, but it's not us playing victim. It's them. See, that's the weird thing about it. Is I never understood that. Because, remember when George Floyd died or what happened with George Floyd? We all know what happened to George Floyd. He didn't allegedly get murdered. He allegedly died of a drug overdose. He allegedly did not get killed by the cop. But the media and the alleged BLM community wanted to play victim. They had that victim mentality. That was the whole entire thing. They wanted to play the victim mentality. That was the whole entire thing. They wanted to play the victim mentality. Because they were sick of, not sick, but they were just brainwashed. They were just totally, completely brainwashed. Now, do I blame them for being brainwashed? Well, yeah, kind of, because, I mean, you got to remember, the black community makes up 13% per capita, and then make up 99.9 allegedly percent of the crime rates on the black on black crime rates. So, that being said, there's your statistics from the Department of Justice, the FBI. You can look that shit up. It's there. So if they make up 13% of the per capita and 99% of the black on black crime rates, then why does the black on black, or why does the black community not do anything about it? Because, again, victim mentality. They've been taught that, again, cops are bad. They don't trust cops. They've been taught certain things when they were younger. And it's just that brainwash mentality. Not every, and I'm not saying every black community's been taught this, but the Democratic black community, the black community in the Democratic demographic have been taught this, have been brainwashed to believe this. And when they believe this, they've been taught this to enough that they get brainwashed into believing this bullshit that, oh, white cops are going to allegedly murder us black folks because these alleged white honky cops are, really don't like us black folks, because us black folks with darker skin tones allegedly threaten them white honky folks. Well, that's not true. Or they're going to allegedly profile us. That ain't true. That ain't true at all. That's lies that the media continues to perpetrate or perpetuate, and it keeps going and going and going and going. And when the black community in the Democratic areas believe that, they don't get told the truth. And when somebody finally tries to tell them, hey, guys, that's absolutely not true, let me tell you the honest truth, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear the statistics. They don't want to hear the numbers. They don't want to hear what you have to tell them, because it hurts them. Because what they've been told is what they believe. And it's the same thing with the radical left. What they've been told is what they believe. It's a cult belief. They start believing in that cult mentality. It's that, thing. So, that's kind of sad. It's really, really sad. And I feel bad. So, I hate to say it though, but a lot of people need to start waking up and learning that this is what happens with the radical left. When the radical left doesn't wake up, they're going to get stuck. And they will continue to get stuck more and more and more. Just like what happened. They're going to believe the lies of what allegedly happened to George Floyd, which wasn't true. They're going to believe everything. So, all right. Do we got any questions before I leave? There we got 3 people in the house. Let's open the panel to some questions. Please be nice. If your questions are not nice, I'm going to delete your questions and I'm going to Snap you. So have fun, but be nice, please. So if any of you got questions, let's open the panel. Yeah. So let's do a question panel. I saw a Southern Blue Collar Man here. He's still watching. I hope you're still here, buddy. I appreciate you all for being here. Please don't forget to hit that like, comment, and subscribe button. I appreciate you all. Please don't forget to do that. Um, I will try to do a new video maybe tomorrow. I don't know what my video is going to be about. I never know what my video is going to be about. I always do random videos at random times and random stuff. So, yeah, if you guys got questions, go ahead. Let's see. I don't see any questions. If you guys, again, if you guys got questions, go ahead and ask. Because in a little bit here, I'm gonna leave. I gotta hit the head. I'm tired. Ugh. So now's your chance, folks. Southern Blue Collar is our top fan for tonight. Ooh, good job. Good job, Southern Blue Collar Man, for being our top fan. Thank you. I might do one more dip, maybe. If that's what you all are waiting for. I'm sure you all are waiting for that one. I don't see your comments in here. I only see 3 people and 0 comment, or 2 from Southern Blue Collar. So, again, guys, please, pardon me, please, guys, if you got comments, write them. Because I don't know how much longer I'm going to be here. Because I'm at some point going to Thanos snap myself out of here. I've been doing that reference all day today. I don't know why. Might do one more dip. Why not? And accidentally smacking stuff around. Yeah, I am not seeing any comments from anybody today. Is YouTube just being weird, or is it you guys just not participating today? Oh, Blue Collar, you're dip. You typing. I might dip. I'm probably gonna do one more. I'm probably gonna do one more, bud. I might do one more. We'll see. Then I'm gonna that'll snap myself to bed because I am tired. I am super dead tired. I got a long ass day tomorrow. So I might do one more dip. Ouch. Okay. I want to tell you guys something real quick. Somebody asked me a question. Conservative, why do I... Story time. I'm going to do a really cool story, and then I'm going to... While I dip, I'm going to tell you guys this story. Somebody asked me why, because they watch my videos, why every time in my videos I look down and they see when I show the camera they'll see the grain can, but then every time or they'll see this can pop back up and it's full, but the green can's empty. And why do I switch from this can to this can? So this is my lucky can, or this is my favorite can. I call it my lucky can. Ever since this can came out, this has been one of my favorite cans. One of my most favorite cans that I've liked. I guess you could say this can has stuck with me ever since this can has come out. And ever since then, I've used this can. And every time I get dip, I put dip in this can. This becomes my can that I use. And so, yeah, so that becomes my favorite can. Or that is my favorite can. That is my lucky can. Again, you can probably tell why the orange, because of the Stihl. For some of you that know that I like Stihl chainsaws and camo, and I just like the design in general. I don't want to dip, or not dip. I don't want to pack too loud because I think my kiddo's sleeping. My daughter's right next door and she's sleeping. I don't want to wake her up. Okay, there you go. There we go. Get a good look. Take a good look. Yeah, take a good look, guys. Boom. How about them apples? Oh, that smells so good. Oh, I packed it really nice. Let's see. I'm gonna do it too big of a pinch because no. I gotta bake a Pirello, or not bake a Pirello. I gotta redo my pinch. All right, there we go. Cheers. Oh, God, so. Ah, motherfucker. I caught it, though. People say I'm the messiest dipper. Yeah, well, I know that shit. Pull out Dixie over here. Oh, God, that stinks. Oh, that shit stinks. Oh, that shit stinks. Oh, put that bitch back on. Oh, shit, that shit smells like. Oh, shit, that smells like some used pussy. Oh, that smells like a lot lizard pussy. Oh, okay. No, we are not using her. Oh, sorry, baby girl, but you gotta stay up there. Oh, you are like a used way too many times pussy. You need a bath tomorrow. Oh, your ass is getting a bath. Oh, that bitch stinky. That bitch was stinky, stinky. So, anyway. Oh, oh. God, I'm sure somebody's gonna be cutting that. Look, probably like cutting that part off and making some kind of fucking meme out of that shit. Oh, here's conservative about to throw up. Just don't meme me. Funny blue collar. You funny. Yeah, conservative about to throw up. Bro, there's been way too many times on here I have about thrown up. I don't want to throw up. Not now. I do not want to throw up. Southern man. You about the only dude right now tonight that has actually been chatting on my thing. I appreciate you, dude. I appreciate you. You just funny. All right, gents. I gotta get my ass to bed. I love y'all. Y'all been really good to me. Y'all be good. Y'all behave. I know I normally don't say that, but keep on packing, dipping, and spitting. And know that I love you guys. And I'll see you guys next time. I'm out.